Weaves is a fantastic, noisy, and infectious rock band based in Toronto, Ontario. In 2016, Buzz Records released Weaves' self-titled debut album, and it went on to be regarded as one of the finest records to ever come out of Toronto, and it was recently shortlisted for Canada's Polaris Music Prize. The other day, I drove down to the Greater Good Bar in Toronto to meet with singer and songwriter Jasmine Burke, guitarist Morgan Waters, and drummer Spencer Cole to discuss their band and delve into their self-titled record with track-by-track commentary. You're going to hear snippets of each song as we go along. We also got into some breaking news, as the band just announced that their follow-up record, Wide Open, will be out October 6th. And so we talked about what the new record is like, and also the first single, Number 53, which you can hear in its entirety on this show. Sponsored by Pizza Trocadero, The Bookshelf, Planet Bean Coffee, and Granddad's Donuts, this is Weaves on the 341st episode of Creative Control with your host, me, Vish Khanna. Jasmine, thank you for being back on the show.
Yes, thank you for having us back.
It's lovely. And who are you?
I'm Morgan. I play guitar.
Morgan, you do play guitar in the band Weaves. It's nice to have you both on the show.
Thank you. And we have to share a mic. Me and Fish are sharing a mic here.
Yeah.
So that's why, I don't know, there's sort of an intimacy. I come closer to you to talk to you. And
it's a little herky-jerky.
It is a bit herky-jerky. I feel like I've got basil in my teeth from the pizza I just ate.
Let's see.
No,
there's no basil.
No, there's no basil. I wish I had basil in my teeth from the pizza that I just ate, but I don't. It's good pizza. Where are we? Where are we right now?
Greater Good?
Yes.
It's by our rehearsal space, so we just waltzed over here after...
I've run into a few musicians.
Yep.
Lots of them are here.
Annie from New Fries was here.
Yeah.
All the big names.
from Gray's.
All the big names. Yeah, there's like a rehearsal factory type joint, and I was telling you guys before we started, rolling tape that fucked up, I think, have a space in your space.
Yeah.
Do you ever see those guys?
I don't think they might not be there anymore. Mets we see a lot. They're always there.
And there's the Brick, which is right by us.
Yeah, furniture.
Oh, the furniture retailer, the Brick.
The big red
Why
brick.
did you feel compelled to point that out?
Well, I mean, we were walking past it today. It is on the back of our record.
Yes.
Of the album art.
We took
it's
the
in
album
the background.
cover, or the back of our album is a photo on Geary.
And you can see the brick in the background. So
Yeah.
Jasmine was wondering today if we were going to ever get sued
by the Brick.
And I thought that would be pretty cool.
That's probably free advertising for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of cursing on your record, but not enough for them to be like,
Minimal.
our corporate brand, what are you doing?
Yeah, there's a few references to ottomans and couches and stuff too. So
this notion of living in a shithole might compel people to move, and where are they going to get furniture from?
Ah, you're right.
The Brick.
The Brick.
Absolutely.
All right, well, I'm jumping ahead. And also, I should say, you are freshly back in Ontario from a trip out east to Sappy Fest, right?
Yes, indeed. We came back yesterday.
It was a nice time.
Yeah, we
didn't pick up the accent.
At the bar?
At the bar? I don't know. We always
Sappy accent?
Just the
that East Coast
accent.
at the bar, driving a car. Meet you at the bar.
We have a bad habit of just suddenly, just in the van, we just
take on the accent.
Overdo the accent of where we are.
You weren't there long enough to pick up the
we only need to be there for 2 hours, and then we become that.
Yeah, it's true. Although this trip, I noticed it's like the East Coast. They had a sale on razors or something because everyone has some sort of shaved part in their haircut.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Toronto 2005 where you'd have like asymmetrical or like a mullet with like a shaved element.
A lot of hockey hair, like, and even if you think it's a normal haircut, you look on the back
there's
of
a rat
guy
tail.
and there's a little shaved patch.
Yes.
Huh, that's interesting. And was that off-putting or just interesting?
No, I enjoyed it.
It was cool. I felt like not part of the crew.
Yeah, we're not East Coast.
Yeah, we're hard Toronto.
But you say it's circa a certain time in Toronto from the past. Do you think that do you feel maybe like the East Coast is slower to catch up, even though the sun rises there first?
Maybe they're
quicker.
They're quicker because maybe it's coming back.
Yeah.
Right. That's fair.
But everyone was pulling it off, and and we also, I just want to throw it out there, we had dorm rooms, so that was kind of cool.
Oh, you're at Mount Allison.
Yes.
Yeah, I've done that.
So it was pretty awesome. We had joined washrooms, and yet we all had our own rooms, although we were all yelling at each other. And
yeah. Everyone's really bad in this band of yelling in the hallways of dorms or hotels, and I just think we're just so irritating.
Yeah, I'm picking up a bit of that vibe. No, I think you guys are very pleasant and nice, and it's fine. As we're speaking, you just made the announcement that you got a new record coming out.
Yes.
What's the new record called?
Wide Open.
Wide Open? And I want to talk about Wide Open. It's not out till October, right?
October 6th.
October 6th. You know
Yes,
the date.
I do.
Someone's got to be on top of these things, and it seems it's Jasmine. Did you know the date, Morgan?
I did know the date, but I want to allow her the power to, oh my God, a train!
Indeed, that is a train.
Carrying our physical copies of Wide Open to October 6th.
Delivering them to the East Coast as we speak.
If my daughter were here, she would say choo-choo, but you yelled train.
Train!
Yeah.
I actually picked up the accent then, the East Coast accent.
Train. And the train.
I don't want to offend my...
Eyes the bice.
Maybe that's not right. Maybe you're not supposed to do that.
I'm a Newfoundlander.
Oh, yeah.
Are you actually from Newfoundland?
Well, my great-grandmother and my grandmother, so, they moved here in the 30s, I think, and just down the street, Lansdowne and Bloor is where my great-grandmother had a home. But yeah, they were from Newfoundland.
And we all spent time together in St. John's for Lanya Vanya some years ago. I remember that, and that was one of the best times I've ever seen you, I have to say. Wasn't that show at the Ship?
It was so fun,
Did that stick out for you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole thing was special. I feel like we just had a different energy because I'd never been there, and everyone was so welcoming, and
that
was
probably
special.
Maybe my favorite festival I've played. That's always the one I compare everything to.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. Was that early?
That's about 2 years ago.
Yeah, and we've done a lot of
festivals
after that, and that was one of the most special ones.
Yeah.
I agree. It's an amazing festival. Anyway, I'm glad you're back. I mentioned you have the new record coming out in October 6th. We've established that. But I thought it could be interesting, this happens from time to time on the show, where we take your most recent record, your self-titled record, which came out last June, was it?
Last June, yeah.
Last June 2016. And we go through it track by track to get a kind of story behind the song, because I think people are still processing the record, and some people are encountering it for the first time.
Yes.
So are you okay with this as an exercise? Let's just talk about every song?
Yeah, that's
for sure.
I don't know. I feel like that's what a musician wants to do more than anything, is just talk about the songs rather than like what their intentions are.
I guess.
Don't you think?
Jasmine,
I don't know.
Jasmine and I have spoken on the record a couple of times. Morgan, you and I have never spoken. Are you someone that finds jibber jabber and blather to be kind of annoying and pointless? No, not of yourself, but you just like artists like. These days, a lot of interviews are just like, let's do something kind of like gimmicky or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you feel like they're not earnest enough or serious enough about the music?
No, not necessarily, but musicians, I don't know. I love to talk about the details of the songs. I don't know. It's almost like you spend more time talking about like, what does it mean to be whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Talking big picture. And then
I see.
I want to talk extremely small picture. Tell me about the snare drum. And then, so, I want to get like nerdy.
The nitty gritty.
Okay, well, let's do it. Let's try this. So we're going to
He'll bring the nerd.
We'll go in sequence. Okay. We'll go in sequence here. So let's start with the first song. The first song is called Tick. Now, Tick, first of all, I assume both of you are here because are you I know there's a band. It's a band, but are you two the primary kind of instigators when it comes to songwriting?
Yeah.
I think so. I think Jasmine is the initial instigator. She starts the fire. She adjusts the spirit. And then
you run the engine.
I don't know.
Adjust the spirit, run the engine.
If she starts the spark, then I blow on it into some wood.
Yeah. Yes.
Aren't these just the lyrics to Dancing in the Dark by Bruce Springsteen?
Basically, yeah. Yeah. All intentions in rock music come from that song.
That was an interpolation of that. Anyway, let's start then with Jasmine on this one. Jasmine, tell me a little bit about Tick, the intention behind it. What's going on Tick from your perspective?
Tick was probably... Was that one of the earlier songs that we started working on?
I don't think so.
No? See, he likes talking about the songs. I don't know. I think I just wrote it at some point in my life when I was feeling something. I don't know.
Oh my God, we can't remember. We've made another album since then. This is like...
It's hard.
Okay. Tick was a later one.
Oh, actually, Tick was one of the last ones because we kind of felt like we needed another like fun song on the album. And Morgan, I think we came back from a tour and Morgan was like, go to the space and just try and write another,
Yeah, this was
poppy.
after Glastonbury.
Yeah,
I
it was
think
after
it was
Glastonbury.
Like, let's get some...
You're right.
Some banger tunes going.
Yeah. We went to we played Glastonbury in 2015 after our EP came out. And going there and seeing, like the biggest artists in the world, like Kanye played, Patti Smith played, Florence and the Machine, Dalai Lama was there. And then it sort of gives you some new fire because you realize, we want to make something that can be listened to kind of internationally. And I don't know. I was like kind of excited to go back and write another song. I was like, our album sucks still. So we wanted to just like bang out another banger.
It's interesting you say that because the energy of this is the song that kicks off the record and it jumps out at you. If you're not ready for the playback, it's just like the guitar, everything just...
There's no nap.
It's running. It's like a dash. And I think that's what you're tapping into there. It sounds like you guys were a little antsy to get this song out into the world, maybe.
Yeah.
I think so. It's a fun sort of, the door opens. The first lines are...
This is just the beginning of what I want to say.
So as soon as she says that, it's like, I guess this is the first song on the record.
Yes. Fun way to introduce the album.
Now, there's a lyric in here that caught my attention, and forgive me if I'm paraphrasing. Actually,
okay.
I think I can get it here accurately. Sweetie, I just want your biological clock. Tick-tock, is that what's going on? Is that the tick talking to someone? What does that mean?
Yeah, I was thinking, about the old settling down and things and living your life and making it like kind of a funny concept.
We've just joining us is Spencer Cole, the
drummer.
Tell us about Tick.
Oh, it's just a great tune with that driving acoustic guitar. Well, actually, it's an electric guitar, but unamplified. It's just the strings really carrying the rhythm of the song. It's really...
I didn't have an acoustic guitar.
It's really a hi-hat alternative.
Wow, that was very well spoken. That was great. I didn't think that was amazing.
We're the geeks here. We really care about that kind of stuff. Like...
Spencer,
I'm the emotional
why are you
one.
just joining us now? Where were you?
I was smoking weed outside.
Oh, okay. That's
good to say.
That's good to say.
That's good to say.
I guess it's good we're not broadcasting live. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's a free country. That's fine.
That's legal.
I mean...
Yeah, there's a dispensary that just opened up next to my house, and I had never been into a dispensary in Canada or in the States, only in Holland. And it's, it's very easy and it's very liberal and they're very friendly and everyone. It's the way of the future. It really is just smoking weed all the time.
I've never partaken myself. It sounds fun.
Oh, really?
I never have.
Yeah,
wow.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's relaxing.
Everyone freaks out when they're like, I've had a person tell me like, you look like you bake all the time.
Well,
is that the right
that's
vernacular? Bake?
No. You get baked. You get
Wake
baked.
and bake?
Yeah, but that's
so square.
I am now baked due to
yes, you're baked.
Ripping hard on some reefer. You know,
this is good. Now I'm learning the language.
Yeah, this is cool vernacular. Ripping hard on reefer is sort of what all the kids are saying.
Okay, so did we cover tick? Are you satisfied with?
I'm satisfied. Tick would be described as, in our internal language, as dry-fi because there's no reverb and it's all DI guitars. There's no guitar amps. It's just signal to ear. There's no air in the guitar amps. So I call it dry-fi because it's just me plugging my guitar directly into my computer and cranking the gain.
Oh, interesting.
Prince, the Prince mindset.
Prince did that on Dirty Mind and stuff.
Oh, did he? I didn't realize that.
It's all DI guitar or like Revolution, Beatles, that fuzzy, kind of airless, thin guitar sound. That's what Tick's all about.
Okay, that's interesting. And do you want to say anything more about?
No, I think we got it.
Did we talk about the biological clock? I can't remember.
Oh yeah. I just thought it was a funny way to be like, hello. I want a child.
Yeah, TikTok.
Yeah.
And whose perspective?
Very literal.
Whose perspective is that from?
Me, my own.
It's your own perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the thing. I write quickly and just whatever emotion I'm feeling for that day, essentially. So I guess I was in a mood.
No, that's okay. That's fair. We all have these moods. Okay. Well, speaking of biological clocks and sex, the next song is Birds and Bees.
Hello.
That is a euphemism for sex. Is that song actually about that, or is that just a coincidence?
That was more, I think that one was more tongue-in-cheek. I would just kind of like the idea of like using birds and bees in a song. And, I don't know. That one was more fun to make.
But the Dream About the World on My Knees, isn't that sexual?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't want to say too much because then you just sound like a shock master. Like you're.
You mean about the song?
I'll dream of the world on my knees.
If you spell out the lyrics, it gets a bit.
That was sort of like a prostitute, like that part of the song, I guess. So it took a different spin.
Wow.
But there's a lot of things.
But you tied that into the innocence because Birds and the Bees is meant to be like a quaint image, right?
Well, yeah, but then you have the real world, and so that's why
I
kind of wanted to like go back and forth on that fantasy versus reality world.
Mentioned that sometimes you write quickly. This seems like that's a multi-layered idea. Was this written quickly as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
But in my head, like, it makes sense to just say that.
Now, do you have discussions with your bandmates about what you're singing about ever?
Occasionally, I'll be like, "What's with this line?" or something. If I want to kind of know, if I just want to kind of get a sense of like what's the emotion that's supposed to be happening here. But most of the time, there's not too much discussion about anything because as soon as you start talking about it, you kind of kill the magic.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Earlier you said you wanted to talk about all the things, and now you're saying...
I mean...
We can talk in retrospect, because this is just a joyous wank on, celebrating
I never said that was
ideas that just happened out of thin air.
Right.
It's fun.
Okay. No, it is fun. No, that's cool.
But when you're creating something, you're scared you're going to wreck it by talking about it.
Of course. Yeah, you just want to let it happen. Yeah, so you spend a lot of time on tour. Maybe, I doubt you're the kinds of people that talk about your own songs.
Well, Jasmine doesn't really. I haven't heard. Most of the conversations we're having now is sort of the first time I've heard. So.
Okay, this is great.
Yeah, I never.
I'm like
this is like therapy.
Kind of. I'm like a song therapist.
Yes.
Trying to uncover the song. Don't think of me as you. Is that what you say?
Yes.
That's an interesting. I'm sorry. Like the lyrical fragments popped out, and don't think of me as you.
Because sometimes, people assume that your behavior is going to be the same as theirs, or they assume like your intentions are the same, and I don't know. We all have different ways of living, and
it's a differentiation.
Yeah, I try not to think about it too much. I think it's just like I don't know. The way I write is just emotional, instinctual sort of way of expressing myself, and so I don't overthink it. I try not to overthink it, but so it's funny talking about the lyrics now because in hindsight you're like, well, I just feel like I don't want to overthink ideas. I don't want to necessarily create like a fluid path of a storyline, just like let things be how they are. So I don't know, it just depends on essentially my feelings that day, and then I just spew it out.
It pops up a few times on this record where I think you're as a narrative device, I think it's a lot about trying to figure out your place in the world, and differentiating oneself from the masses, but also realizing you are part of the masses, maybe.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think that's what's going on a little bit there. Do you want to say anything about the music, either of you, on that particular song?
I think we said enough about that one.
Okay. Birds and Bees.
I mean, it is interesting, but we don't have to go into it. Just forever being for a long time being the first song of a set on tour for the better portion of 6 months. 6 months on tour and being like, where's... We start with that one. That's like the beginning of, that's where we're getting to the stage. Birds and Bees, very comfortable, and we're always kind of a little bit in somewhat of a conflict regarding the tempo and the groove, and it's like, where does it sit? And now it's slowly getting a little bit quicker and quicker and brighter and brighter. And personally, I think that's much more of a comfortable spot.
No, you always wanted it slower, and I wanted it faster. Right, I wanted it more Ringo, and you always wanted to put the booty in it. This is the argument. He's taking the other side.
See that
we can't even keep track of.
The guy's high as a kite. I think he got baked.
Yeah, guys, I'm just truly baked. But really, it's an interesting thing into looking into the mind of a band, and it's like how you think about groove and time. And time is important. That's such a big part of hearing music. Is where's the time? Sure. Where's the space in between all those notes?
Of course, do you think maybe you're a little biased about the importance of time, being the drummer?
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. I'm the drummer.
That's it.
That's got to be what it is.
This song is always a tough one for us to... We stopped playing it at sessions because they're always fighting about the tempo.
But you do continue to open your shows with them.
It's like you can trudge through it and sort of get the audience on board. And I mean, we can be intense, so maybe you want to just ease them into the situation.
But I like the notion, and forgive me again, song therapist here, maybe band psychiatrist. There's tension within the group about the song. It's a nice icebreaker for the show, because shows can be stressful. Just getting the show going can be stressful. You get the hardest thing out of the way.
It's not. But it's the easiest song. I mean, that's
but it's also the easiest song. Okay.
The easiest songs are the hardest songs.
We're never opening with that song ever again. So.
Okay.
Well, we're done.
No, that's fine. All right.
Let's see what you started.
I'm
this
sorry.
Is the thing.
I didn't mean to start a fight.
Oh dear.
Candy.
Who's? Are you ready? Are you ready? That's like the constant. Are you ready to fucking play? Come on. Get your head up. Put your
Candy. What?
Candy is placed about third in our set so far.
It's a hard one to be ready for, and at the beginning of touring with Candy, it was 70% of the time false start.
Is there a synthetic drum aspect to this song?
Yeah, that's heavy samples. Yeah.
So that's why it's the "Are You Ready?"
Well, I think it just kind of really blasts in your face. Is the idea off the bat.
a giant walk over you.
This is an early one. Candy was early. We probably recorded it the most times.
This one would be one I'd say you and I were most excited about when we were demoing, remember?
And it was around during the EP.
Because I remember that day, we had demoed it, and then you emailed me in the wee hours, and you were like, I added horns to it. Listen to it now. And then we were like, oh, this is Weaves. Like, it's almost like that was the christening of, like, maybe discovering what Weaves might be.
Yeah.
I think.
And it's got a nice mix of, it's got some Pixies guitar. It's got some dance hall grooves at the end, kind of, which is weird.
Yeah.
I can't tell how old all of you are. I think you're younger than me. I don't even know how to talk about getting high. Are you Pixies fans? Are you PJ Harvey fans? Because that song in particular, the drum sound reminds me a bit of PJ Harvey, maybe a Steve Albini drum sound, and then the guitar. There's a lot of Pixies stuff, I would say. But I didn't want to bring this up because I don't really want to foist my old man.
You mean the record? You mean the way it sounds in the record?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs on the record, personally.
Well, and Steve Albini is you're always trying to get the rid of me drum sound, kind of. I always am.
Morgan and I talked about that a lot for the first
big snares,
LP.
Especially on the next song on Shithole, that's pure Steve Albini, Pixies, or PJ Harvey. So yeah, we're big fans.
You are a big fan, okay.
Oh, yeah.
And were you listening to them or with the Pixies? When did you come across when I say when in this case, what year? I don't know how old you are.
Yeah.
Were you into them when they were initially active or after?
Pixies was after, but PJ Harvey was during.
Okay. So that's a big thing for you.
Yeah. High school, I was into
Morgan
PJ
loves Pixies. He loves Ween.
And PJ Harvey, I think,
PJ Harvey.
is underrated, even though she's considered the greatest.
Anybody here go to the Massey Hall PJ Harvey show?
I did. It was so good.
Well, that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
I know.
I still think about it like once a week.
Yeah.
The Hives.
Hives?
Yeah, and the Hives.
But I just have to add the Hives. Very
Just
important.
want to say the Hives.
I just need to add that's an important sound. The sounds that they make,
yeah.
very important to our. I think that's legitimate.
All right, in my lyric fragment exercise.
Yes.
I'm just a giant walk over you. I mean, that's part of the chorus.
Yes.
I think. What does that mean?
I feel like sometimes, especially as a performer, you have a big personality, or you're projecting this like sort of storyline, and maybe in that way, or maybe just being a driven person, I have a tendency to plow through things, and maybe that's a positive or a negative, and I was reflective upon that.
Oh, about your everyday personality or your because
mixture.
You and I have talked before about when you were younger, you did look up to certain musicians. And
yeah.
The ones you've mentioned, I think you mentioned. Did you mention Courtney Love?
I might have. I mean, I love like the Yeah Yeahs growing up, and like the Strokes, and that. I was like an early 2000s kid.
Bigger than life.
Yes.
And those are the people you looked up to. And now as a performer, I can see the theatricality.
Yeah.
Seeing the Weaves as many times as I have now, I can see that developing more and more within you. This notion of I have to be a performer. I can't just go out there and sing.
Yeah.
So that's
I think it was like it was sort of that idea, and like just I mean, if you think about being a musician, you're sort of dedicating your existence to being a musician, and that can either help or hinder your relationships. And so it's like, I don't know, I just was thinking about like having this like one focus and how it sort of correlates to my life, but also like being badass about it, because no matter what, like you are who you are and you can't change that. So might as well just
haters.
That's sort of the most badass part of our LP1 set.
Says you.
No, I really love that part. That's like, the big booty, big like powerful groove, and like, Jasmine's.
And as a woman, it's like a cool sort of sentiment to have within a song, in a rock band in particular,
Absolutely, yeah. Do you find it difficult to wind down after shows? You guys put a lot of energy into your shows.
I do. I mean,
are you
wind down? I have a hard time to wind down.
Like, you're superstars for 45 minutes to an hour. Then you got to come down and just talk to people. Is that weird for you?
No, everyone's pretty social, so everyone can kind of
I feel like we're good at. I mean, we like talking to people after. I find that to be maybe more interesting than. I mean, I love performing, but recently, like touring, actually meeting people and talking to them about music or like the way that your music, whatever, affects them. It's like important.
If we were at a bigger level where you don't go out to the merch table and you're backstage at some arena, then that's when I think...
You don't have to do that. You don't have to get to a... you can just decide you're not going to not do that. You can always go out to the merch
table. Sure, but we got to help out. A little
I
bit.
don't think you can just... I don't think Win Butler's going out to the merch table.
Yeah, but that's Win.
But they do like create little areas on their, in their performance where they go out into the audience and perform. And I think that's a nice element to keep like connected to at least the people that support you.
I love seeing Pavement at the merch table.
If it's
when
a festival,
I would see Pavement
for example,
and they were at the biggest, they would be out there at the merch table.
But if it's a festival, for example, there's volunteers that are often helping you. And I remember we just played Sappy. We played a wicked show. It's at Sappy Fest in Sackville.
Yeah, I haven't heard
okay, great.
That,
so like you're saying, but like all of our friends were there. Everybody was there after the show. We played an amazing night with friends.
But it's nice.
I'm not going to reiterate
musicians,
but being around so many friends after such an emotional experience,
I will also say
harder for me to wind down in that situation than
part of our problem is Spencer never comes to the. I'm always at the merch table first. You rarely come.
Out of my sweaty rags.
But did you have experiences as a younger person seeing musicians where they humanize themselves?
Yeah, and speaking of Arcade Fire, I have like a little Arcade Fire, their first little EP, I guess, and Regine was like out on the merch table signing stuff. And I remember seeing like, the Yayas and Nick was hanging out and like TV on the radio. They're always like, I think you have to kind of stay connected to these people, especially if you want to remain, I don't know, human. Like, I think it's nice to... And just you meet young girls or whatever who I think it's important to develop a relationship with them and like make them feel like you are here
and
for
awkward
them.
Boys.
And awkward boys. Yeah, we got a lot of stoners. They like you though. They'll be like, "Where's the guitarist? I want to talk to him." And I'm like,
I would want to talk to you.
Yeah.
If I was like younger, Vish, because your guitar playing is interesting.
Yeah.
Great drumming too. I'm just saying, if I was younger, I like to talk to the musicians.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But it's nice. Usually Morgan and I will go out and like try and sell some stuff and talk to people.
Sure. Okay. All right, let's move on. Sorry. No, that was good. That was good. No. I just feel like we should move on. I like that. Shithole. Song for the band? I always thought it was.
No.
Well, it was one of our first singles that we released. So from that standpoint, it was really good.
It wasn't early in the recording.
It's not deserving of the microphone anymore, I've noticed.
Just ignoring.
The earliest, as in terms of recording, it was one of the earliest. So
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't, Spence. No, because...
This is the dynamic.
It was the same thing as... I think it was after Glastonbury, right? And we wanted... some new songs?
See, we all disagree at all points. That's why
I had actually said to Jasmine before we started, hey, wasn't that song on the EP? And she said no.
No.
And I was like, oh, I could have sworn I heard that song before.
But remember, I sent it to you after...
It did come out
it was
before the album. It came out early. It did come out
but
the first thing after the EP.
Leon at Candle, and it was done.
Yeah,
and he mixed it, and we recorded it in one day.
It did come out after the EP. It was the stopgap.
It was a stopgap. Okay.
That's why I thought it might have been on the EP. I got foggy. Sorry about that.
It was
So it was
in advance of the
But
album.
why did we...
Because we needed, I don't know.
I remember
Okay.
turning 15 and thinking life's not right. That's a heavy thing.
Yeah.
And I'm living in a shithole.
And her mom wasn't happy about that.
My mom's hates
This
the
is
song.
this is about your upbringing?
No, it's not.
Oh.
And they seem to forget that I've lived alone. They just... Oh, my parents are like, I don't understand. You lived in a decent home.
Her
And
mom
I was
calls
like,
bullshit on this song. She's like, you didn't live in a ditch.
But it's not about my childhood.
Isn't
This
it
is what I tell
interesting that
them.
people assume, and I know you're a personal writer.
Yeah.
Thus far, it seems like you are writing mostly about yourself.
Yeah.
But are you not also a narrative writer? Do you create characters at all?
I mean, I think I embellish on my own life.
I see. And this is an example of...
I'm dramatic.
But are you trying to capture... this is a song where you're trying to capture the perspective of someone else, isn't it?
No.
No, you feel like your mom is wrong, and you were living
Well,
in
no,
a
I was
shithole.
thinking about my life, like, sort of in my early 20s.
Oh.
But the thing is, I don't actually remember writing, like, this is the weird one with this one, is I don't remember writing it, but Morgan and I were, like, trying to figure out a song to put out. And I found it on my little voice memo thing. And I emailed him, and I was like, why did we never use this song? And he said, like, you never emailed me this. I don't know what this song is. And
Yeah, I was like, we need to do this
we should do the song. And so I must have been, it's like in retrospect
Feeling sorry for
again,
yourself?
but I must have been in like some sort of heavy place that day because I don't really even know, I don't have any recollection of writing this song essentially. It's just like something I found on my voice memo, and I thought I'd already emailed it to him.
Oh, weird. It's a mysterious song.
It's kind of a mysterious song.
I guess, yeah.
Musically, what would you say about it?
I'd say you could say it's one of the better songs on the record. I think it's a really good, straight up, it would
To
be
the
in the
point.
Weave's fake book. It's straight ahead and concise and good, and if there's any criticisms of this band, they wouldn't be on that song.
Yeah.
You're a pop band on some level. You have some... every once in a while, I think you're a noise rock band.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'm like, oh, they're shooting to be on the radio. This is... I think it could have been a radio song. It probably It probably was a radio song, but it's got a curse.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You got a curse in
It's
your...
ridiculous because at the same time, there's so many other words you can say on the radio, and I'm not allowed to say shithole when I'm talking about a place that I live. I think that's the problem with... No, but I think that's the problem with censorship is like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the intentions aren't.
The intention
violent or
is just
anything.
like...
It's just celebrating feeling sorry for yourself, kind of. That's how I interpreted it. You don't think so?
I don't know if I'm feeling sorry for myself.
But in the way the lyrics are like, I'm living in a shithole. You're kind of saying how you feel bad for yourself, but you're feeling, I don't know.
Is it possible that Jasmine's taking exception to the fact that you say it's celebrating feeling sorry for yourself?
Maybe, I don't know. What is the problem with that?
Because I think like Morgan, I sense the wallowing, but I don't necessarily think it's a glorification of it. I think it's just like, I'm not happy.
I don't view it as feeling sorry for myself,
No,
I
but
guess.
I say celebration as in like, I can feel sorry for myself, but that's just a small part of my personality, and I'm overcoming it, and the song is uplifting. There's like a chorus to it. There's like a, I don't know, in the face of like feeling sorry. Sometimes it feels good to feel sorry for yourself.
I mean, just running in a circle. There is a kind of hopelessness to the song. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's there.
Yeah.
And I take it as a straight conveyance of
Yeah.
I'm not feeling great.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess I just feel like the song is sort of somewhat has an uplifting feel to it in the end, and so there is a sort of a sense of I will overcome this feeling, and
I think the intention or the feeling is offset by the music, which is
Yeah.
really sweet.
yeah.
Okay, I solved another one. Let's move
is our
on.
therapy.
Is anyone
How
keeping
much
track?
for your psychiatric evaluation?
This is
this
I want a slice of pizza.
$20 an
I would
hour?
like a slice
Sick.
of pizza, maybe. Eagle, which I think has at least one allusion to the Steve Miller Band. Is that right?
We call it our
What do we call it?
Nirvana Unplugged, like perfect Perfect for
it's a beautiful
plaid.
song. It's a beautiful song. I mean, the way it's recorded and your delivery on the vocals, it's lovely. But it's a bit jarring after the succession of you know, like. Initialize this thing?
Well, always Jasmine is initializing.
I'm the initializer.
JB.
This is a true. You can think about it if you're wanting to think about it. This is a true live off the floor, everything. No overdubs. No overdubbing vocals. This is just
super dynamic. You know, it's
one-time deal, and it felt like a nice break from the wall of sound of the other first four songs.
But again, I was talking earlier, and again, this is my interpretation. I was talking earlier about this notion of differentiating yourself, but also I think kind of sending a mantra of some kind into the world to calm down. And this notion, and this may be my reading, but everything ain't always meant to be everything is a nice way of being like, just
maybe this is me, the celebration of feeling sorry for myself. I feel like there's more positivity in this, because at least I'm finding some sort of like, resolution to my pain.
do you know what I mean? When I say mantra, though, I do think like you could say that to yourself and de-stress a situation.
Yeah.
Like, just relax.
No, I know.
And is that where it's coming from a little bit?
Yeah, that is. I think I was having some sort of, like, existential crisis about, like, continuing life and, the cycle of life.
Sure.
And also, like, being, I don't know, just, like, I'm pretty chill and relaxed, so, like, what does that even mean? Or, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a lot of thoughts. So.
Do you want to fly like an eagle? That's the Steve Miller Band reference that I picked up on. Is that not
that
what
wouldn't
it
have been me, no. I just thought of that to sing.
Okay. Do you know the song? Fly like
an
eagle?
Do I? Oh, Fly Like an Eagle. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have been thinking of that.
But she likes eagles. She likes eagles. She's got an eagle tattoo.
You have an eagle tattoo? Oh,
with
yeah.
legs.
Oh, yeah, there's Don Henley.
It's about being strong.
It's Don Henley on Jasmine's shoulder there. That's stunning.
You know, this is a tattoo.
Gorgeous.
I have a friend, Rosie, and we have matching tattoos. So there's an eagle's head with these legs.
She wants to get rid of her legs. I don't get it.
I'm not going to get rid of the legs or the tattoo, not like my personal legs.
She wants to get rid of her tattoo, the legs.
Can I just run an idea by you that I just had for... I don't have any tattoos. I don't... Good for you. Okay, well, I realized, though, that if I ever had one... Tell me if you think this is bad. I've been wearing this wristwatch, this Iron Man wristwatch, since 1999.
Sick.
And if it ever stops working, I thought it would be funny to get a wristwatch
Rule number one with tattoos is you don't want to get... First of all, number one... You don't want to get the first one on the wrist.
What?
Because that's a for real dedication. No, it's just visually. Look at me from the straight right now.
I see.
You can't see anything.
But I thought it would be a nice...
You see it all the time.
I thought it would be funny.
You see it all the time.
That would actually be really funny. You should get it on your lower bicep. Like, That would be hilarious.
No, but I want it on my
because
wrist.
it would be funny because it's like that's not where an Indiglow Iron Man 1999
watch. You guys are
watch.
shooting down my idea. I thought it was a good idea.
No, but I think that would be a really good idea. But put it here.
I could put like my birth time and date on the watch display, or my wife's or something.
Or 420.
Yeah, or Spencer. Yeah.
But like if I know people can't see this, but if you see me straight on, you can't really see all of my tattoos.
I don't really want a tattoo. It was just an idea I had.
I think if you got a tramp stamp of a little watch.
I don't think that's a good idea. I don't
just
think
a stopwatch.
I don't think stopwatch. Stop right there. If you can see this tramp stamp, you've gone too far. All right, let's move on from Eagle and go on to Two Oceans. Two Oceans.
Oh, that's the ripper.
This is a ripper. It's a big song. And
the most fun live.
Let's start with Morgan, actually. I was going to say Spencer, but then I realized I didn't want that.
He might give you too many truths.
Tell him about Two Oceans.
Two Oceans was another fully live off the floor one, and that one was so live that we had never rehearsed it, or even Jazz didn't even write it. That was all improvised in the studio.
3, 4.
That delivery coming from? I was trying to place it though. There's a very, it's the this might I don't know if you're familiar with the band The Jesus Lizard or David Yao, but there was something I was trying to figure out where this phrasing was coming from. It's something is going on.
Yes.
Where is it coming from? Can you talk about it? Do you know? Without I don't want you to cite your influences
that's the
or
thing.
anything.
It was no. It's like it just happened. We were just like the night before we were thinking, we have to go to the studio, and I had talked about Two Oceans is like a bottle of wine I sometimes frequent on the old practice nights, and
cheap wine,
and Morgan's like, you should write a song about Two Oceans, and we sort of came up with the chorus the night before. Same way
Mac DeMarco gets his Viceroy thing.
Yeah, and we were like, we need our
vice
of sorts.
Be like a female drinking wine song.
We exist.
I feel like your environment had a lot to do with the way that you were improvising and
I was performing in the washroom.
She was in the bathroom.
Joan Jett, maybe? Is there some Joan Jett in there?
She was in a bathroom.
There's some inflection that it's driving me nuts as I think about this.
I also have a problem where my voice, like the guys make fun of me because the way I deliver words changes. Maybe if Zach were here, he would really rip on me. Also, or like if I'm talking, maybe I'll be like, well, Bruce made fun of me because I said crooked. So sometimes my deliverance of words is different, and maybe like emotionally, if I'm feeling the tone of a song, my personality becomes that of the music.
But I think there was no influences or anything because there was no time to think. It was her just spitting out lyrics.
We just like started playing
out of time,
so
she's improvising every
all
word.
The words.
The words are really funny and good, so it's cool that it all just happened in a moment.
It's an attitude,
Yeah, it's an attitude.
Yeah.
Iggy Pop, maybe there's something.
Yeah.
Some kind of like.
I'm a sassy lady, so it happens.
It's a strut. It's a strut of a song.
In a way, there's a Bob Dylan too. If I was walking down the street, like kind of spitting out the words faster.
Jasmine and I both were at the same Bob Dylan show last month.
Yeah.
Were you there too, Spencer?
No. I just think that's great that you were there also.
Yeah. Thanks for the backup on that. All right, we'll go to Spencer for more affirmation as we go on here.
Actions.
Yeah, affirmative action. Human You talked about your phrasing. As I recall, clarity and prosperity are kind of weirdly said, but maybe that's not right. There's something. Anyway, what are you shrugging at? Who wants to talk about?
We're all.
Give him the microphone. What do? I play the fucking cowbell in Human. Like, I don't know.
It's a very human endeavor.
Human's a great song.
Or that, but I'm looking for clarity. I'll never ask for this or that, but I'm looking for prosperity. I can't believe that
That one I struggled with a lot.
Playing that one live is very challenging, I think, just to feel comfortable with all that space. There's so much space.
Oh, yeah.
We also re-recorded vocals like too many times.
I kept making.
He was like,
Jasmine.
"Chorus isn't right."
Let's re-record another verse. Let's do it again.
Again.
The primary producer.
I guess I'm the biggest snob sitting there on the Pro Tools. Yeah.
And are you the engineer as well?
No, Leon.
Leon mostly. Okay.
Leon Tahani.
But are you?
And I both have a lot to do with the way we want it to sound.
Yeah, we're both the biggest snobs. You've got a drum obsession for sure. He's the drummer, and it's so important.
I'm a drummer. I feel the same. If the drums don't sound good, that's a big problem.
And I have an obsession with the drums too. So I think
doing my best to not always think of the drums first, but
I think we work together because we both love snare drums and stuff. But Human's a cool one, and it's kind of like a bit of a Motown-y thing, and it's like we're try to leave space in it. I guess that's where maybe there's a bit of a Hives influence.
And Alex Newport, we're not talking about Leon here. We're talking Alex Newport, like
mixed it.
He just destroyed that. He made
nice
it the sound. It was just it's terrific.
And cowbell, really important.
Jasmine, sometimes I think that you see a certain responsibility in your role as a public performer and person saying things, and I think that you have a penchant for trying to speak on behalf of people who don't have voices, maybe. Is this a song about people who can't? I don't know. This seems like another song that is meant to empower, but also confronting the notion of we're human. I mean, there's only so much we can do.
And you can't always, you can't win them all. And you also, I don't know, like you are who you are, and you have to be proud of that. And maybe that's something, you can struggle with as a young person. But, so I think in that way, I was just sort of thinking about, you can only draw from your own experience. So maybe that was just, me thinking about things. And I think you're always thinking about things in like your own life, but trying to like, make it, an experience of like, that it's an experience of many.
Yeah.
And maybe the more you perform and stuff, and people maybe talk to you after you start to think like, oh yeah, this is how a lot of us feel, or like this is a commonality, and that's okay, and that's like something to celebrate and make into a song, I guess.
Yeah, it's therapeutic for you, but you're hoping that other people pick up on that.
You might
be
I think
going
so.
through similar things, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. I pick up on that. I don't mean to over-flatter you, but I think there's a certain generosity of spirit in what you're doing.
Do you think someone can be over-flattered?
Yeah. Oh, I'm over-flattered all the time. People say crazy nice things about me.
It's very easy for me to be over-flattered. I feel that way. I don't like compliments.
I don't want to gush in front of the people I'm interviewing. It's a tendency I have sometimes because I talk to people I admire a great deal, but fortunately Spencer's here, so we're fine. No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks, by the way. But
I'm just teasing.
But no.
No, you know what I mean. You don't want to.
I think it's important to be at least as honest. I don't know. I believe in being honest with words. At least, like, that's the one thing you should try and do, is not hide behind,
No, but clearly as a songwriter and a lyricist, based on some of the songs we've been talking about, you have a nice balance of impulse and thoughtfulness. Like, you've got things you want to say, but you're comfortable, by the sounds of it, just ripping.
Yeah.
And somehow that's your practice. You convey certain meaning that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think.
I don't want to be afraid. I don't have time for that.
Studios can be very tense, like just the time, and you got a certain amount you got to get work done, and so the fact that you even approach certain songs and be like, just see what happens, that's great. It's good.
Yeah.
That's all.
Do you guys think about that when you're in the like? It's funny because I don't ever think of it.
Like
do you think about the time and the stuff?
Yeah. Why do you think I yell at you?
Whenever I'm in the studio, I forget.
I can think of a few reasons why you might yell at him.
No, but to be honest, I'm not just saying this, but I guess maybe it's a drummer thing, but losing sight of that room that you're in with the mics, forgetting about those, and
yeah, I think so. I think you want to fill the day with stuff, and so you're like, I got to make sure we're getting enough good stuff.
Yeah, totally.
You have to see through all that, though. You have to pretend you're not there.
No, I know. I've had both experiences in studios where I'm like, we got to get. It's 2 hours till the ferry leaves the island. Like, we've got to get a bunch of work done before then, that kind of stuff. Anyway, let's move on to Cuckoo. Who wants to start with talking about...
Oh, well, I do start the song, so maybe I'll start. Well, there's this big old drum fill into the groove.
Your groove this is a Spencer track?
Lately, it has been lengthening the intro to the song. I've been playing...
We just like when you play by yourself.
Right, it gives them a chance to tune, change strings, maybe take a deep breath. It's hard work up there, right?
Is this a fill you came up with in the moment and you've been trying to recapture it, or is it something you can do easily?
Yeah, no, it's definitely based off of the fill that I played in the recording, and often the way that when I play live, it's something that I hear from earlier on from recording, then I just adapt it and change it, and it kind of evolves over time.
Yeah. One of the better ones. I like this one a lot. I think it's really unique and doesn't fall into any pitfalls of like, we're loud and edgy. It's kind of got some sensitivity while at the same time really fires it up. It's cool. I like it.
Jasmine, what do you want to say about it from a lyrical? I'm just trying to figure out what I want to ask you, but I'm curious what you have to say about it first. Where did this come from?
It was one of those ones where I was just thinking, it was more contemplative. Like, I had a person in my life forever, and like 10 years, and I was like, I don't know, we're both nuts, and I gotta end it. And so it just sort of like became, I don't know, it's interesting. In hindsight, you're always like, this is how I was feeling about a situation. Like, it takes writing a song for me to to process something happening, I think. So in the same way, most songs happen. It's like, it's just, I don't know. expression.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
We can add that to the fake book that we'll sell at the merch table. So like Cuckoo, page 7 of the Weaves fake book, LP1 fake book.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we'll have that little descriptor, the Coles knows.
Also, we recently saw somebody at a wedding, like a couple had Cuckoo playing while they were walking away from
nice.
And that's nice. Like, you're like, oh, that's fun. They're both a little crazy, and that's fun.
Crazy in
it's
Love.
For real. Crazy in Love. Crazy
that's
in
another
Love.
That's a big wedding song as well. Crazy
yes.
in Love.
Hopefully back to back. It's Crazy
saying.
in Love, Cuckoo.
You're so cuckoo, I'm so cuckoo. It sounds sentimental.
It's nice.
Now that you've talked about it, I realize it has a darker undercurrent.
I mean, but it's fun to make things that are dark light.
Yes.
And that is like the beauty of being a songwriter is you find that. Yeah.
It's sort of the beauty of pop music in a way, too.
Yeah.
That's why Robin's so good.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from Robin in a while.
No, me neither. I don't know why that came to my mind, but her songs are so uplifting, but if you listen to the words, they'll make you cry.
You could have also been talking about Darkness and Light, Batman and Robin.
Right. I don't care about comics.
Okay, let's just move on. Sentence.
Sick.
Sentence, I believe, is the next song. Is that right? Does that sound right to you?
Sounds right.
Sure.
We used to have... I was pushing for Eagle there, but we swapped that up.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
You were sequentially?
Sequentially, yeah. That was an Eagle hole.
I believe the Eagle hole. This is a golf.
Eagle hole.
It's a Weaves golf tutorial all of a sudden.
That one, very rhythmic, very syncopated, lots of communication that needs to go on in that. You need
a nice
to.
One.
As in terms of how did it come to fruition? Well, I mean, I didn't have anything to do with that. So
is it related to Cuckoo?
You know what? I was thinking about songwriting and how everyone takes everything that you say very seriously and by the book, and so I almost wanted to do a tongue-in-cheek thing of do you think I might be lying in the next sentence? Because what is real? As a songwriter, everyone assumes one thing or another, and maybe you gotta.
It's a meta song, it's kind of a meta quality to it. Huh? Is that speaking to the scrutiny you face now as a public?
No, I think it's and I just even live, it's fun because you look at people dead in the eyes in the middle of your performance, and they don't. I mean, reality. What is reality? I'm still on. I'm on a stage, being a human being. Every context that people hear of you is either in an interview or it's through print or it's through music. So
mediated.
Yeah. So what's the reality? I don't know. And
Have
that's
you been
fun.
lying to me this entire time?
Hey, you never know. I mean,
in a way, because everything. If we admit that none of these songs were really thought about, then us jibber jabbering about them after is all just. It's a big lie. This wasn't thought about.
All right, that's fair. We're almost done. I just want to check in with Morgan. Morgan, at the beginning, you were very enthusiastic about this process. How are you feeling? We're almost done. How are you feeling at the moment?
I gotta say, this is one of my more favorite interviews.
Because we're delving into the record?
Probably.
And you're like a real human, you know?
Well, what do you mean? Do you have to face a lot of non-human?
Well, just non-listeners.
Yeah. It's hard to find people.
That's a weird thing, right? When you're a younger band, the people who want to talk to you, super into you, super passionate about you. And then as you get higher and higher up the sort of media chain, you're dealing with the guy who's got a deadline.
Yeah.
And he's just, I got to talk to that Weeze band. And he'll be like, tell me about whatever, you know? Probably the same thing I'm doing, really. But
we know you, and you know us, and there's a mutual bond there. And I think, no, but really, that helps, just as in terms of knowing personalities, and you ask questions that really, you know, so it's more interesting.
I haven't even asked very many questions. I think I've just been going through the songs.
It's nice to have a real conversation about songs, and also just like, songs are sometimes, you know, glorified, or people would, like, my issue, can we say this? But like my issue sometimes with journalism or like writers in general is they will take on their idea of what the song is and run with that, and then you're supposed to answer all questions based on their assumption of what the song is, or like what it
or and what the bio is.
The bio
said.
Back to the lyric, don't think it was me as you, so that's the same.
Yeah.
So just to differentiate, I've said, here's what I think, but is that what you were thinking? Is that a better approach?
And maybe you didn't like quote our bio. That's kind of nice.
Oh yeah, I didn't quote the bio. Okay. Well, I didn't mean to get too
no,
meta
we're just saying we're having
process.
A nice time with you on
good.
summer's night. It's 2017. The sun is going down.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cooling down. Yeah, it's nice. Okay.
Visha's wearing a blue sort of plaid shirt. We've all got a
giant hole in the ground right over there, and our practice space is next to the hole in the ground. It's perfect.
I might get a wristwatch tattoo.
You might get a wristwatch tattoo.
Who knows? Night is young.
The night is young.
The night is young, yeah.
One more. This seems to be, we were talking about feeling under some kind of microscope or being the object of some scrutiny. That came to mind when I was thinking, when I listened to this song, but I don't know. Is that...
What song are we talking about?
Oh, sorry, one more.
Okay.
One more. Just this notion of...
That's the problem with that song title. It's all
we're
yelled
always
that
like,
out
one
and said
more.
one more, and then people are like, no.
And we're like,
the
no.
last song.
It's one more, like the song.
I also thought you meant one more, and then we're done.
We have two
Sorry.
more
Yeah.
songs.
I was thinking.
But we're on the penultimate song, which happens to be called One More.
Yes.
We don't even know.
We're out to lunch, eh?
You see, I saw you sitting there on the sidewalk, looking to wink at me. And I thought to myself about the goddamn feeling of breeze. You see, I could never care much more about you than you was me. Because something tells me under the boardwalk there'll be more casualties. Watch out, 'cause I'm talking to you. Watch out, 'cause I'm bringing the pain. And there's only room for one more. And there's only room for one. One more. One more. One more.
One More's a party song.
That was another one of those after Glastonbury.
Yeah, after
songs.
Glastonbury, we were like, oh, we need to elevate the set in some way. And
May I just ask, because it seems like Glastonbury was fun but traumatizing. You came back,
no, it was
Thinking-
enlightening. It was enlightening.
but
Energizing.
you felt like you needed to inject something into Weaves coming back from
well,
there.
and that's a good thing.
That's good.
You want to make it bigger and better, and like, you should want to strive to do more. You know,
And to connect with people. I don't know.
No, it's fine. I'm not screwed. I just think that you've mentioned that's another post Glastonbury song.
I think it was like very influential on our. I don't know, like it was kind of crazy because we had only put out an EP. We had never played any festival. That was our first festival, and so it was like, I don't know, just seeing all these bands and like being at the biggest festival in the world. It will affect you in some way, and I don't know.
Rather than knock us down and make us feel small, it sort of energized us to be like, okay.
What do we have
I
to do?
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That's good. I think
Bring a little bit more to the table, and just
I can see that.
yeah.
I can see that. But the lyrics are mysterious. I don't know how much we want to delve into. You say it's for fun, but Watch out because I'm talking to you. Watch out because I'm breathing on me. And there's only room for one more.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? It sounds claustrophobic and weird.
A little bit. I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me
Let that
to
one
like,
fly into the universe.
Yeah.
If you don't have
I don't know.
it's smaller, allow someone else to have their...
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's a tension in that song.
Yeah.
Lyrically.
I mean, there's a tension in my life, I guess, all the
Watch
time.
out. There's a lot of watch out. This everything about this song seems like a warning.
Yeah.
I gotta start teaching like a poetry class, like an analysis.
You don't teach about
This is all part of. I fooled you. This is all.
I mean, like, do you... Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about that, like, you know, when you're in school and you're learning about different writers, and you're like, well, did Virginia Woolf, like, set out to make these books that would become these, like, canonized versions of them? I don't know. Maybe they were just, like, having a bad day and wrote, like, half of the novel. And
It does seem.
you know, like, sometimes it's hard because you never know, where something is coming from.
Are you someone who writes more when you're sort of down, so to speak, rather than up?
Yeah. I'm generally down, probably. Actually, I've been in good spirits recently.
I don't think of you this way.
You're not down.
I just don't think of you this way. I think of you every time we encounter one another. You're very happy and jolly and
slightly down, but then up, and then like further up. So like one step backwards, two steps forward, that kind of thing.
Jasmine is the personification of a roller coaster dispenser. You're down, you're up, you're swirling
up.
about.
Yeah,
It's always swirling around.
It's always, it's a bit of an emotional. I think I'm like I know I'm emotional, but you're like, well, thank God got into music, because what else am I going to do with all this stuff?
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a funny, it's not funny, maybe an ironic segue. That guy's feeling it, or person.
I think it's like channeling. Yeah, it's just like, it's fun to, I mean, I write alone in a room for like a few hours, and it's fun to just like get into a zone and just have this like very special, I don't know, there's like something about like not thinking about it and just having a moment of like having things come through you and you don't know like what's happening. But
you have a weird deal where you have to bring a solitary practice to a group of people.
Yes.
And then your solitary practice is sent into the world.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's got to be strange. Okay. Well, like I say, on that note, I believe we're at the end here with
Last
stress.
song.
Stress.
Oh, stress.
I mean, I feel like we've been skirting around this word stress, but also delving into it. I think I gather that you are comfortable acknowledging stress.
Yes.
And that's important.
Yeah.
Because if
I
not...
mean, you got to feel relaxed in the end,
Do you believe in seed child? Can you conceive in a steam? I do not want the blisters. I want to live hectic free. Do you retrieve for the misters? Can you refrain once you are drained? I do not want the blisters. I will feel void until I'm dead. I wanna live stress-free. I'm on such trees. I wanna live stress-free. I'm on such trees. I wanna live stress-free. I'm on such trees. I wanna live stress-free. I'm on such trees.
And it sort of ends the record quietly, I suppose, right?
Yeah, but on kind of a groovy quiet, I'd say.
Yeah, groove
That's
quiet.
That's a full live off the floor thing, and that's probably the first thing that was ever recorded in Union Sound.
Yep.
Neon's new studio, we did a live off the floor thing there, and that was the first thing that was recorded.
Yeah.
Okay, so it has an auspicious backstory in terms of its recorded version. Do you have a sense of, Morgan or Spencer, do you have a sense of what Jasmine is conveying maybe in this song? I know I haven't asked that too often, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, like when Jasmine's singing away.
We've also only performed this song twice or once.
It's hard to find a place in the set because
Like,
it's kind of slow down.
It doesn't necessarily, like, I hear what she's saying, and it has an effect on the way I drum, but subconsciously I can't say that I'm changing what I'm performing and
No,
playing.
I didn't mean it that way. I don't mean experientially in terms of performing the song.
You mean?
I just mean, I encounter this a lot now, where I talk to a band about the lyricist, and it's almost like they're like, whatever, like I'm doing my thing. It's like you're kind of too inside to actually know what the person who's on the front of the stage is sort of
it's hard.
putting out into the world.
It's hard to connect if you want to avoid that at all costs. I have so much of Jasmine in my monitor all the time. Doesn't matter how big or small the stage is. I need to be in that same world as everybody else.
But words aren't important. It's music.
So then what's the point, though?
Words
I need
for
to
everyone
hear
else
them
to interpret. And
yeah.
I think each of us interpret them, but if Jasmine isn't talking about the lyrics, we're not going to sit down and have this conversation with her in the van. She'll be like, and we'll change subject.
I think that's an important thing.
Right?
I think also just maybe, you guys are more, like, I love lyrics. I'm a lyrics person. My favorite artists. I don't really even necessarily pay attention to the instruments. Like, I just love words and the way and maybe you guys aren't so much wordy people.
No, I like lyrics, but I don't need to understand every one of them the chorus is very clear. I want to live stress-free amongst the trees.
Yeah. But when you were growing up, did you, remember all the lyrics and,
No, not remember all the lyrics, but the good ones would stick out, and they would just...
Or I would sit there for 5 days and, get my liner notes and be like, okay, ready to memorize the entire album and dissect. Yes. That's very important for me.
But, it's different with each artist, because certain artists, it's like PJ Harvey, to bring it back to that, her lyrics are so direct and simple, but it's how she sings it that gives it such power. It's crazy if you just looked at it. It's like she's not trying to be complex. She's telling religious, super powerful songs just about love and lust and all those things. So I don't know. Lyrics don't always need to be completely pulled apart in order to be enjoyed.
No, and I don't mean it in that sense. I just mean you're in a band with your friend, and they're writing songs like this, and I just wonder if you're ever like, do I need to check in?
No, because I know she just wrote it in 15 minutes, and she moved on to the next one, basically.
But it's coming.
It's coming from a place of...
coming from a place.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's nothing in that song. It says you want to live stress-free. Well, so do I, so I'm not worried. It's not... You're not singing about, darker things. I won't give fake examples.
Sure. Okay. Well, I didn't mean to...
Thanks, Morgan. I feel really good.
I didn't mean to destroy Weaves with this line of questioning.
I always feel like they maybe don't care about lyrics as much as me. I just feel that way.
But that's not fair, Jazz, because I sit there with you and we work through it, and I know all your lyrics, and Jazz will forget verses, and I'll know all the words. Test me.
I'm not testing you.
No, that's great. No, but that's nice to hear. That's actually heartening to hear.
I think the lyrics are good. If lyrics are bad, then you notice them. If lyrics are good, they add to the whole soup. It's not, and if only the lyrics are good, then maybe you're listening to...
Sometimes it's not a soup. Sometimes it's not
The Hold Steady or something.
Oh, a little diss at the end. Okay, we've gone through the record.
Yes.
And I appreciate this. I know this was it proved to be something of an enlightening exercise.
I feel like Did it get negative at the end? Or are we in trouble?
No. You're not in trouble, but...
I don't like soup. I'm sorry. I'm still hung up on soup. Just don't like soup. The words, if they're in a soup...
I mean, I just think we're all different people, and we're never going to agree on how we feel about the songs.
I know, so I would hate to really say. I could say what it means to me, but I wouldn't want to imply what it means to Jazz.
That's all I was asking, though. Yeah. That's why I didn't. Luckily, I didn't do this too often. I thought I'd be like, guys, what do you think? What's going on?
But we're probably thinking about the groove and I kind of play a cool guitar thing. See, everyone's so self-absorbed in bands.
I'm aware.
And art and everything. So, sorry.
No, it's not meant to be. Don't roll your eyes. Now I feel like things have gone off the rails. Listen.
We still all inform one another. We're all informed.
I think so.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally. Like, one person does something, we respond, positive reactions, mostly
Seems
positive.
like a very chemical tight thing, Weaves. Like, you watch it and there's that telepathy, that intuition, the social aspect is present. So I think I care deeply about the band.
We all get along.
Yeah.
We're fun.
We're fine. This is why we don't talk about things, because otherwise we'd...
Yes, of course.
Yeah. But I will say on the new record, we really get out of the way for Jazz to do what she does so well.
This is what I was going to say. Just I know we spent a lot of time on this record, and I don't want to keep you much longer, but you've got a new record. Mm-hmm. You talked a lot about Glastonbury as being this key point. Coming back, being like, we got to do something.
Yeah.
You make the record, this one, Weaves. Now you got the new one.
Uh-huh.
What did you want to do different? What are people going to be surprised about on Wide Open? Can you talk a little bit, reveal a little bit about
I feel like we toured a lot last year. We were away kind of a long time, and we bonded as a band. We grew as musicians, and I think you just the more you're on the road and the more you experience things, it just expands your mind. Maybe even if you're not conscious of it, that's how I felt after, was maybe this change or shift in myself that I wasn't even necessarily conscious of. But then reflecting and writing was a whole other level this time, that I just felt more excited and interested in exploring different language, and I don't know.
When you travel so much and have different experiences and you meet different people, do you end up writing, did you, in this case anyway, end up writing less about yourself? Did you find that you were writing on behalf?
Well, me, this is the thing where we differ, because I intentionally was doing I because I wanted people to say I to themselves.
Oh, because I was at a certain point I was like, every
saying
song starts
I,
with the word I.
But I hated that on the last record. I kept saying you, and I was I feel like I'm deflecting something if I say you. So I wanted to use I to make it feel more real, but also allow people to take it on themselves. That was kind of a conscious. Yeah. But I just think,
Is it more direct? I think so. Maybe.
I think so.
Yeah.
What do you think, Spence?
The record as a whole, it's more focused for sure.
Musically
There's much less of a helter-skelter, and it's. I'd say it's much a more focused, concise, to the point thing. And
I think the songs are better too.
Yeah. I mean,
there's nothing more fun than the second batch of songs after you're done a record. I love that. That was always my favorite. That's when you get the best stuff, I feel like. You've learned so much together, and then you feel like you know what you're doing. Is that what happened?
Well, I think Jasmine wrote really good songs. A lot of them, and we had 25 to choose from, and we cut it down to 11. And so we've got another album worth of things that I think are really strong as well. So we have a lot of material. And the whole thing of the second album being tough, it wasn't. I mean, we're bragging before it's come out. People might say it's shit.
It just felt more freeing. I felt like we were able to travel and meet people, and it's a really beautiful experience. It can be challenging, but it's also this really, eye-opening thing. So I think we just felt I think the first album, maybe we set ourselves up to not necessarily be one genre specific band. So we were able to sort of we're not afraid to make different kinds of music and be whoever we are at that time. Weaves isn't one specific sound, Well,
I can't wait to hear the whole thing. The first song, 53, is great.
Thank you.
And I don't know, can we go out on that? Can we play that song right now? Does that make sense?
Please do.
Anything you want to say about it before we go? Because I don't think we've talked enough about your songs.
Yeah, we haven't talked enough.
53.
Well, I mean, 53 starts this record. Tick starts the first record. They're the same guitar riff in the same key. So if you put 53 is just slower. So put those two together. You could put a clip of Tick and then play 53 after, and you can see what I mean. It's a bit slower, a bit more grounded. I think it's kind of a neat, like, updated Weaves thing.
What's the connotation of it's actually number 53?
Yes.
Like, or hashtag 53.
Yes.
What is the connotation there? What does that mean?
Should I say the real meaning?
You might as well.
It was kind of a joke because I have a looping machine, and that was the 53rd loop on my looper. And I've been performing it as a solo project, and I just like named it number 53 as kind of a joke. And then Morgan liked the song, and I was like, yeah, I just want to call it number 53. It has no particular...
Spencer just said off mic, I'm glad you admitted that. Has there been another story circulating about the song?
No, I just think it's funny to have, like... Again, it's like the weight of a song. Like, it's everything and anything to have a title, whatever.
Yeah, but maybe by saying it, we've just taken all the magic away.
Come on, stop it. Why do any interviews at all? You got to talk about stuff every once in a while. God damn it.
Is it better to say what it means? Do we win in the end?
Well, on some level, you've said specifically what it is. And yes, you've lost. You've lost now because people aren't going to feel free to use their imagination.
Don't you think it's fun to say what it is?
I thought of 53rd and 3rd by the Ramones, even though it doesn't sound like that. But the number 53 has kind of a
so
different...
we've lost the magic.
No, come on. No, that's interesting. I think that's...
It's a very real, but in a way, like I don't know why, I just didn't want to give it a name. Like I was like, let's keep it like this.
I have a feeling one more might have started... Well, actually, you say one more.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Usually I name songs, but for that song, I just didn't feel like... Like there was no name for it. And then he liked it, and I was like... It is number 53, like it just came out.
Well, no, it's great. And I think we should just go to it and play it and then let people know what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
So this is 53 by Weaves from the new record out October 6th. It's called Wide Open. Mm-hmm. October 6th on...
Buzz Records in Canada.
Okay.
Memphis Industries in the rest of the world. And K9 in the US. America.
You guys have this down.
We're trying.
Spencer, Jasmine, Morgan, thank you so much for being on the show. And
thank you.
Best of luck with everything.
Thank you. 53.
I was a stranger inside of my body.
That was number 53, the first song on the upcoming new Weaves album, Wide Open. Thanks again to Weaves for being on the show to talk so much about their last album and just have a good hang. That was fun. Thank you, Weaves. They're great. They're just a great band. You should go see Weaves and listen to their records. Fantastic. Fantastic. This is the 341st episode of the Creative Control Podcast, which is available on iTunes, Audio Boom, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, and all your favorite podcast platforms, I'm sure. Every single episode of the show, along with more information, is available at vishkana.com. You can like the show on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Creative Control of Vishkana. Follow us on Twitter, at VishCreative. Follow me on Twitter, at Vishkana. Also, you can listen to a version of the show every Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time around the world at CFRU.ca, or if you're in the area and have access to a radio, 93.3 FM in the Kitchener-Waterloo region. Also, please visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/Creative Control, to make a flexible monthly donation to keep the podcast running. And also, at this point, I'm endeavoring to buy a new piece of equipment to record field interviews like the one you just heard, just a little bit better. I have my eye on this thing. I want to get it, but I need help from you. So if you can pledge, please do. And in return, you get the show. And if you like, I can send you a t-shirt. That's the deal. So again, patreon.com/Creative Control. This episode would not be possible without our sponsors, Pizza Trocadero, whom you can call for pickup or delivery at 519-829-2444, or check them out, trocaderoguelph.ca. The Bookshelf, an independently owned bookstore, bar, music venue, and movie theater located at 41 Quebec Street in Guelph. Learn more about them at bookshelf.ca. Planet Bean, freshly roasted, fair trade, certified organic coffee. More info about them, planetbeancoffee.com. And Granddad's Donuts, located at 574 James Street North in Hamilton, Ontario. Best donuts in the world. Granddads.ca for more info. Well, that's it for another episode. Thanks for listening. And tell your friends to listen, and subscribe to the show, download the show, rate and review the show positively on wherever you're listening to this if you can. All of that helps. All right, I will talk to you very soon. Goodbye for now.